Hi, I'm Rich Simon, editor of Psychotherapy Networker. As mental health professionals, I think there's one thing we can agree upon, which is that there's lots and lots of material about psychotherapy available to all of us. There's a lot about the theory of psychotherapy, research about psychotherapy, lots and lots of explanations of psychotherapy. What we don't have the opportunity to see, and maybe the key to moving to the next level of effectiveness as a clinician, is seeing the master clinicians in our field actually at work and getting an opportunity to explore with them what they're actually doing in a session, what their moment-to-moment decision-making is like. That's a key element in really discovering new possibilities of how to become more effective as a clinician. And that's why here at the Psychotherapy Networker, we're initiating a whole new series of something we call the video masterclasses, in which we have an opportunity to focus on the work of one of the leading innovators in our field, to see them actually do a clinical session, and then have the opportunity to talk with them about the session, about what went on, what was going through their mind, the challenges that they experienced in the course of the session, and the different ways in which they managed to meet those challenges. So we're beginning our Networker master classes, and we're about to launch the first one of them, which will feature one of the leading figures in our field, David Burns, one of the originators of cognitive behavioral therapy, someone whose work in treating depression and anxiety, I'm sure, is known to all of you. In this first of the video masterclasses, David talks about what he considers the most exciting discovery he's made in his long career: the power of resistance to reduce the effectiveness of the work that we do with our clients, and to reveal how often we underestimate the role that resistance plays when therapy takes longer than we think it might or bogs down. So in this first installment of this video masterclass, we're going to talk with David about what he calls the motivational revolution that he believes we therapists can tap into if we begin to find ways to overcome resistance. And he's developed a method for doing that, which involves being able to work with a client to melt resistance and to move them into becoming fully motivated to be partners in the therapy process. So in this first masterclass, you're going to see David go through a 4-stage process of assessing clients, of measuring the initial level of difficulty they're experiencing, of creating the alliance, a strong alliance with them by enhancing the empathic connection between himself and the client, with the agenda setting, what he calls paradoxical agenda setting, where he brings the verbalization of the resistance into the therapy session and finds a way to bring it into the client's awareness and actually undercut and reduce the amount of resistance within the therapy process in a very efficient process and a very revolutionary process. And finally, use the full methodology that is available to us therapists in order to make therapy achieve better outcomes in less time. The first of our video master classes is called Overcoming Resistance: The Secret to Better Outcomes in Less Time. What therapist wouldn't like to be able to achieve that in their practice? So what you'll get out of this video masterclass is, first of all, an understanding of the concept of resistance, David's revolutionary new way of looking at resistance and how you can better address that early on in the very first session of psychotherapy. We'll move from there into a remarkable interview that David does with a woman who for 9 years has really, in the course of this interview, he refers to it as 9 years in hell, of a woman who's been deeply depressed and incapacitated by her depression. And in the course of this interview, you'll see how David is able to transform her experience and give her a whole different way of getting herself out of the depression. So not only will you see David work with this client, but you'll also have the benefit of David being questioned about his decisions and about the different elements that go into his approach. So you'll not only see him at work, but there'll be plenty of time for an in-depth analysis as you go through the session, what he's thinking, what exactly he's doing, how he's meeting each of the challenges that come up in the course of this interview. And then an additional feature of this video course is not only this commentary, but you'll have a chance at a Q&A session where you can ask your questions once you've had a chance to experience the course of how to best apply this remarkable new approach to dealing with resistance in your own practice. The goal of this video masterclass format is to show you how you can take your practice to the next level. So imagine enhancing your ability to help your clients achieve their goals more fully in less time. Just see if you can see yourself being able to melt away resistance and motivate clients into the fullest possible partnership from the very beginning of the therapy process. See if you can imagine for yourself what it would be like to feel fully connected with your client, to really have a confidence in your ability to make an empathic connection with them from the very earliest moments of a therapy relationship. And imagine your practice and imagine your work as you see yourself developing a fuller range as a therapist and achieving a clinical mastery that can transform the work that you do. So, Overcoming Resistance with David Byrne is open for registration right now. All you need to do is press the red button below. You'll get all the information you need about this unique learning format, about the initial conversation with David, about this clinical interview, about the Q&A session, which will give you an opportunity to learn how to apply the methods that David has developed more fully in your practice, see information, bonus information about David's approach, and much more. All you need to do is press the red button. But the time for registration is limited, so please act now. Just press the red button below. I very much look forward to sharing the benefits of our first video masterclass with you and hearing about the benefits that you'll experience as you transform your own practice.